everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. In this lesson we're going to break down the second half of the solo. This is a three-part mini-series, a little jazz mini-series. So if you've missed the first part, you're going to want to make sure you watch that. And following this, I'm going to do another lesson on how to play the rhythm part. But let's break down the second half of the solo for this. Alright, so let's go ahead and break down the second half of this solo. Now also be sure to go to www.activemelody.com if you want to download the tablature and the jam track for this so that you can practice along and you can make up your own solos. So let's break down part 2 of the solo. Alright, so now let's break down the second half of the solo. Now the second half, what I'm doing is I'm playing everything an octave higher. It's not an exact repeat of the melody, but it's pretty close. It's a close approximation, and that's something you hear a lot of guitar players do. A lot of times when they're playing a solo, they'll play something in the lower registry. Then to give it just really more character, you'll play something an octave higher. And that's kind of what I'm doing here for this. So the first thing that happens is I come up to the 12th fret, 2nd string. That's the first note I play it, and I use my pointer finger. Then I jump up to the 15th fret, 2nd string, and I use my ring finger for that. Those are your first two notes. Then I come to the 12th fret, 1st string. So we have that. And then I do this little harmonization thing where I play two strings like that. And what I'm doing there is I'm playing it with my middle finger, my ring finger, and I'm sliding them. I'm starting on with my middle finger on the 13th fret 1st string, ring finger on the 14th fret 2nd string, just like that. But I'm sliding them both up one, so that when the note is actually played, my middle finger is on the 14th fret 1st string and my ring finger is on the 15th fret 2nd string. So it sounds like this. And if you watch the first part, my video on the first half of the solo, the way that we ended the first half of the solo had a little harmony part, and this is just sort of played in the same vein as that, I guess. So all together. Oh, and then to round this out, after we play that, I'm going to come back and play the same first two notes that I started this with. So that would be the 12th fret 1st string, 12th fret 2nd string, and the 15th fret 2nd string. So all those notes together sound like this slowly. And here it is up to tempo. Now you'll remember when I played the first half of the solo, the way that it started and you can hear some similarities there. Just changed the order of those last two, but that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of hinting at the melody. And keep in mind, I made this up sort of on the fly when I was trying to create this lesson. And I think it's important for you to learn kind of what I'm doing in this, and then be able to take it and break this down so that you can play your own solos. So if you download the jam track and the tablature for this, you'll be able to do that. And by the way, if you missed the first part in this series, you got to watch that, because I go into explanation as to what the boundaries are that we're working within, and how I came up with this solo. So anyway, after we have this, then I have this thing where I go, and what I'm doing for that is I'm taking my pointer finger on the 12th fret 1st string, and I'm doing a half bend, not a full bend. here. So a half bend is just pushing everything up 1 fret. That's the note I'm trying to match. A full bend is going up 2 frets, so a full bend would be like this. But we just want a half bend, and it gives it a really nice little slur. So I kind of bend it up and then I release it. Then I come back to the 15th fret 2nd string with my ring finger. And then I'm going to play the 13th fret 2nd string with my pointer finger. Then I play a little thing that goes. And for that, that's just a real quick hammer-on pull-off thing that I'm doing. It's pretty easy to do. I'm on the 12th fret with my 12th fret 2nd string with my pointer finger, and I'm going to hammer on with my middle finger onto the 13th fret 2nd string. So I go like this, and then I do a pull-off, which is like that. So all together, slowly, it's like this. Notice with my picking hand, I'm only picking it once. The other 2 notes are created here with a hammer-on and a pull-off with my left hand. And when you do it quickly, it sounds like this. And then we land here on the 14th fret 3rd string. And you can play that either with your ring finger or your middle finger, whatever's easiest for you there. Okay, so let's back up and play that whole, the whole thing up to this point. Okay, so now moving on, I have I play this. And for that, I'm just taking my ring finger, sliding up to that same note on the 14th fret 3rd string. Then I'm going to take my pointer finger onto the 12th fret 2nd string. And I'm going to do another half bend, this time on the 2nd string, not on the 1st. Here. And when I release it, I'm going to take my ring finger and come back to the 14th fret 3rd string. And I play it twice there. Then I'm going to take my pointer finger, come down to the 12th fret 3rd string, and then I'm going to slide it down 1 more to the 11th fret 3rd string. We're going to stop there because this next little part is it's not challenging, it's just kind of, there's a little bit of a stretch. So, backing up and playing everything we have. Okay? Now, I take my pinky and I come up here and play the 15th fret 2nd string. Now we've already played that fret, but that's a stretch because I want to try and play it while this note is still ringing out. So while the 11th fret 3rd string, you kind of have both of them happening playing at the same time, just to give it a little bit of a harmony. You don't have to, but it's all in how you want to do it. But that's sort of how my ear hears it anyway. So after you do that, so that's the challenge, is just that stretch there. And it's keeping your, while your pointer finger's down here on the 11th fret 3rd string, coming up to the 2nd string 15th fret with your pinky and hitting that. And depending on your, your stretch with your hand, the size of your hand and flexibility, some of you that may be very easy. For my hands, it's a little bit of a stretch. And after that, I come to back to the 2nd string 12th fret, and I'm going to play that note. I'm going to do another half bend and a release, and this time I'm going to play the 12th fret 3rd string. Now that's challenging because that 12th fret 3rd string is right underneath the 12th fret 2nd string that you're bending on. So you're going to have to kind of, when you release it, just let your hand off the fretboard and then come down to the 3rd string there. Okay? So that whole last part looks like this. Okay, so let me back up now. Since this is short, I'll play the whole thing. I'll play it all slowly so that you can hear how it all fits together. Alright, so let's break down this last little run. Now here's what it's supposed to sound like. Now, for those of you that are beginner guitar players, that might sound a little intimidating, but don't let it be. This is something you can do. You can break this down. It's just a lot of this is just muscle memory. It's something you can do in the course of a few days if you practice it. So you can get this. But what I do is I start with my ring finger on the 12th fret 4th string. That's the note. And then I'm going to slide up to the 14th fret 4th string, just like this. Okay? First two notes. Then I'm going to take my pointer finger, 12th fret 3rd string. Then I'm going to take my ring finger and put it on the 14th fret 3rd string. So thus far we have pretty easy. It's just a little box between frets 12 and 14 on strings 3 and 4. Okay, now here's where some of the challenge comes in. I'm going to take my middle finger and push down on the 14th fret 4th string. That's the next note. Now notice what happens. My ring finger comes off the fretboard. But that's it. That's the challenge, is just getting, because it feels like in the beginning it's going to feel like you're cramming those fingers into that 14th fret, and you are, but after you do it a few times, it'll feel natural. So slowly, it's like this. Okay. Now notice my pointer finger is already off the fretboard. It's just kind of hanging out here. I'm going to use it to push down again on the 12th fret 3rd string to create that note. Now this time I'm going to come back and play the 14th fret 3rd string, but I'm going to use my middle finger to do that. Just like that. And you're going to see why in just a second. So thus far what we have is, okay, here it is slowly. Now notice another thing to point out is the picking is just alternate picking, down, up, down, up. The first time I just do one downstroke because I'm sliding, but after that you can see it's just down, up, down, up, down, up, and that's important. You're going to want to make sure that you're not doing just a bunch of downstrokes. And if you're a beginner, that's what's going to feel the most natural, is just to play everything in a downstroke like that. And that's fine. You could do that. You could get away with it to an extent. But if you ever want to pick up the speed and do something faster, you're never going to be able to get the speed just doing downstrokes. So that's why it's going to feel very unnatural in the beginning to do alternate picking, to go down, up, even when you're going across strings like that. But you'll see why it's worth the investment over time, because your speed will be much better, and your accuracy as well. So you'll be able to be a lot more accurate. Okay, so the reason I had you play this 14th fret 3rd string with your middle finger is because we're gonna slide that up to the 16th fret 3rd string. As soon as you hit it, that's the cue to slide it on up. And the reason you want to use your middle finger is because the next two notes are these. And so it's a natural fit if your ring finger is there for your pointer finger, and I'm sorry, if your middle finger is there on the 16th fret 3rd string, it's a natural fit for your pointer finger to be able to play the 15th fret 2nd string, and your ring finger to play the 17th fret 2nd string. So we're getting pretty high on the neck at this point. So if you're on an acoustic guitar, you might be running into some space issues here, depending on what your neck setup is, but it should be fine on an electric. Okay, so what we have slowly is so notice when I hit that 14th fret 4th string, as soon as I hit it, the next note is the slide in. It's just like how we started this, just like that, but now we're doing it here. So we're sliding up to the 16th fret 3rd string, and then we're going to play those two notes. It's frets 15 and 17 on the 2nd string. Now, the next thing that I do is I go, and for that, I'm just going to take while my ring finger is here on the 17th fret 2nd string, I'm going to take my pointer finger and put it down on the 15th fret 1st string. And I can either leave my ring finger down, or I can take it off, either way, but the goal is to play these two notes. If you leave it down, it's going to ring out like that. If you don't leave it down, it's going to sound like this. And I think that's how I play it, is I'm not letting it ring out. There's a time and a place to let it ring out, though. It just depends on your preference. But so backing up, what we have is okay. And then after that, what I play is I come up to the 17th fret 1st string, and I do these two full bends, just like that. Okay? And after that, I'm back to the 15th fret 1st string, back to the 17th fret 2nd string, and then back to the 15th fret 1st string. So those notes are just a repeat. So that's how I did it. Now there's all kinds of ways you could do this. Obviously you can slice and dice this however you want, but that's what seemed to make the most sense to me to do. Now I'm trying to think with challenges on this. You're probably going to run into challenge doing these bends. Because I think what may happen for some of you is when you do a bend, when you're doing two bends like that, you may not realize that in essence what you're doing is when you do the first bend, you have to notice my right hand just goes and stops it, and it happens really quickly. So what it's doing is at the max of the bend, your right hand is kind of muting the strings so that you can release the tension and come back and hit it again. Now, if that's too challenging, you could always do another version. You could always go something like that, where you bend up and then you release it. However you want to do it, but I just thought it sounded cool to do kind of two bends. It's just, that's the way I hear it in my head if I were singing this, You'd have somebody sing that part. Just kind of singing through the fingers. Alright, so let me play it all now up to tempo. It'll be something like this. Now, slowly, it'll sound like this. Okay, so then after that, what we have is I play this and I go. And all I'm doing there is it's just a half bend. I'm on the 17th fret 1st string, and I do a half bend, and a release, play the 15th fret first string, back to the 17th fret first string, back to the 15th fret first string. Okay, so notice I'm doing a little bit of a pull off there too after that bend. See? And then after that, I jump down and play on the second string. I do a hammer on. I start on the 15th fret with my pointer finger. I hammer on to the 17th fret, just like that. And then back to the 15th fret, second string. And then for this last part, I play. And for that, I'm going to use my middle finger, and I'm going to start here on the 14th fret, third string, and I'm going to slide up to the 16th fret. The actual note that you're trying to get to is on the 16th fret, third string. Right there. Now you can start it there, or you can slide up to it. Either way works fine. But that's where you start it. Then you come up to the 15th fret and play on the second string, and I play with my pointer finger. Sorry, my brain wasn't working there. Then I'm going to take my ring finger and come up to the 17th fret, second string, and I'm going to do two slides. I'm going to slide from the 17th fret all the way up to the 19th fret on the second string, just like that. Now you're getting pretty high on the neck at this point. Some of you may have never played this high, but that's where we're at. Now after I do those two slides, I'm going to come back to the 15th fret, second string, back to the 16th fret, third string with my middle finger, and then we're going to end on the 15th fret, second string. So slowly it sounds like this. Okay, and to round this out, I come down, staying on the second string, with my pointer finger, I come down to the 13th fret, second string, then down to the 12th fret on the second string. Now I'm going to stay on the 12th fret for these next two notes, but the next note after that, I'm going to jump to the third string, then I'm going to jump down to the fourth string. So, and I do all of that with my pointer finger. So you can see I'm going 13, 12, 12, 12. When I'm saying 12, that's the fret. So it's strings 2, 2, 3, 4. Now somebody may tell you there's a better way to do that. That seems the most natural to me, since you could, I guess, cross your middle finger over to try and jump to the third string and then cross it. But I don't know. I think something at this kind of slow tempo, that's how I would do it. I would just use my. Now, what you could do is you could bar them, but that gives you a different set of controls. You can't put the vibrato, and I'm a big fan of vibratos, just like you're singing it. So that's how I kind of slice that up. Okay, and then the very last thing is I go just like that, and all I'm doing there is I'm on the 12th fret, second string. We've already done this. It's just a half bend, but I do two of them. But notice that when I pick it, I only pick it once. And so the left hand is driving the tone by keeping it going by doing those bends. And the final note is on the 12th fret, third string. And I just apply a little vibrato. Alright, so why don't I go ahead and play through the whole second half of the solo. I'll play through it pretty close to tempo, and then I'll do another version that'll be played slower, and you can have both these for a reference. So here we go. Okay, so let me do the whole thing again. I'll do it slower this time. And there you have it. Nice and relaxing. Make sure you download the tablature and the jam track for this. This will be it's a great jam track. It'll be a lot of fun to practice along with. And it's about a 4-minute jam track, so you'll be able to play that, but hopefully you'll be able to make up your own solos. And make sure you watch part 1 of this as well. So that's where I really break down the boundaries so that you understand what you're playing within and how I derived at that solo. Okay, so there we have it. The next part I'm gonna show you how to play that rhythm guitar part, and we'll break that down. So we'll see you in the next lesson. All right, well, thanks for watching this lesson. Let's stay in touch. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel here. If you haven't done so already, just click on the subscribe button wherever it is on the page. Also, you can like me over at Facebook, facebook.com/activemelody. That's another way to stay in touch. Or twitter.com/activemelody. It's always like to hear back from people, and it's a good way for me to stay in touch with you and let you know when I have new lessons that are out. So let's stay in touch.